Hi everyone, how you doing? I have got music coming out from somewhere else. Every 1 second. Okay, brilliant. I've cleared that. Thank you so much all for joining us today. Hopefully some of you have come over from the Twitter space we just had. But I'm super excited for this live stream today. I've got an amazing guest, Emma, who you probably know from the GitHub community. Emma's a mod, an ambassador, answers and reviews loads of pull requests and helps everyone in Discord. Emma's amazing. So before we get into this live stream, let Emma introduce herself. So Emma, please go ahead.
Thank you. I don't think I can do much better than that, really. Hi, everybody. I'm Emma. I am a recently graduated junior developer, focusing mostly on JavaScript and like React and TypeScript and things. As Eddie said, I am an active member of the GitHub community and really enjoy doing open source. But another thing that I really am passionate about is accessibility, and wanted to create my own organization to create accessible based open source projects. So that's what we're going to be doing today.
Yes, so I'm super excited about this. I've got some ideas for later on as well. Awesome. And I've got some ideas for now as well. So I can't wait to get started. Emma's Twitter, YouTube, and this GitHub Org is in links are in the description below. I'll drop them in the chat in a moment as well. So yeah, I'm Praduma saying Emma fan here. Sorry, Eddie, no problem at all. I'm an Emma fan too as well. So
thanks, Praduma.
Thank you, Sean, as well. Thank you, everyone, for the amazing support. Oh, I've missed a comment here from Daniel as well. So thanks all for being here. Super excited. So Emma has created the orgs. Emma, do you want to switch over to the other tab? Let's just quickly show everyone what we've got so far, which is not very much. Emma created it a few days ago. I don't think has done that much to it. So we're keen to get all of your input and your help, and hopefully you can get some green squares out of it as well. So Emma, tell us a bit about what you've got so far, and then we'll talk about what we've got to do, and we'll get some ideas from people as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Shall I just show people how I created the organization, just in case they
sounds good.
Curious. So it's basically under your profile up in the top corner, you've got your organizations. So I clicked here, and you can just literally click on new organization and choose the free option. And
that has changed a lot since I created an organization.
Okay.
Very different.
Choose the free option, and then you choose your name, which this is the hardest part, choosing the name, honestly.
Which you can rename later, but it's something you probably don't really want to do unless you're absolutely sure. So you can do it, but probably not a great thing.
Yeah, and then just add a contact email, which I just use my personal one. And then it just sets it all up for you, which is where I was at the beginning then. So basically I've set it up. I've created a public README, and I've added one repository, which is just a collection of like links and stuff. So it's just a README file in a resources README repo. So that's basically as far as I have got.
That sounds good. I think it's a good start. You've got the name, which is probably the hardest thing. You've got the customized GitHub Org, which so many haven't even done yet. So that's great. So that's really good. I like it that you've got the resources, because it's a great way for people to contribute some resources on accessibility. Yeah. Do you have an idea of your future long-term goal of the organization as well, before we start customizing and setting it up and get people contributing? Where would you like to see it in, say, 1 year's time?
That's a great question. Basically, the thing I see with learning accessibility is it's not really that easy for newcomers. So I want this to be a place where like people that are new to web development can come and learn about web accessibility with like some really simple resources and things, but also that people that are interested in open source can also come and contribute. So I don't want the repositories to be like super complicated, so that like people can come here and get open source contributions, and that it's like us all working together to make this like these resources for each other. I want people to be able to join the organization. Also, because I'm trying to start up a YouTube channel, it'd be really cool if well, I've started up a YouTube channel, but
You have.
I'd
You've got
like
some great videos.
I'd like to do some reviews on other people's videos, but I don't just want to like go to whoever's website and do a review. I want people to like say, please, can you review my site? And so a bit like you have on EduHub, where people can list their portfolios in the support repo, I'd like people to be able to come here and say, you know, can you do a review on this website for me? Yeah, so that's kind of...
That sounds great. I mean, that sounds brilliant. I know I definitely want lots of my websites reviewed for accessibility, because I think that's important, and it's something that I know I neglect a lot as well. So that would be great. I mean, so many great ideas there. One thing I would like to see, and I don't know if it's on your radar, this is me throwing out there food for thought. I'd love to hear people in the comment as well, what you all think. So one thing that's on my to-do list is to create a Next.js project, a couple of pages, really simple, basically hello world. But I want to add automated testing for end-to-end for the front end, and also add it for the API as well, and have both running on Cucumber. So something I want to do, and I want other people to contribute to improve it and make it better and all the rest. Would something like that, not on the testing side, but on the accessibility side, work? Could you have like an example React or Next.js, whatever it is, probably, you know, React. But then would you have something like, I don't know, title and a form, and the form wouldn't be submitted to actually go do anything, but just to show how someone could do it with accessibility in mind?
Yeah, like one of the repositories that I'm hoping to make is like a accessible React components, if that's the kind of thing you're...
Okay, that sounds even better than I was thinking. Okay, I was thinking of like an example template repo, but yours sounds better.
Okay,
so
yeah.
That sounds good. And this is a bit of a curveball for you, so I don't know if you can answer this or not. How does other component libraries like Material, Bootstrap, Prime React, how do they compare? Are they accessible if people do it right, or is there room for improvement?
Yeah, there's definitely room for improvement. Like some are definitely better than others. I think Material UI, or I think it's now called MUI.
Okay. I didn't know that.
I don't know why, but there you go. They've put quite a lot of effort into making their components pretty accessible, but like there's only a certain limit that you can go up to before things start breaking and not working as intended, because you might use them in a place that they hadn't thought of. Prime React, I'm a bit they're a bit iffy, because on their website they're like, our components are super accessible, and then you use them and they're not.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, that's good. It's good to understand, you know, of the current landscape. Alex, thank you so much for joining in. Long time no see. Also a shout out to Jay and Wasif, hopefully I pronounced your name right. You've subscribed to Emma's channel, so awesome. The link is in the chat. So I'm keen to get started. So what does everyone think? Right? Does everyone think, right in the chat, out of 100, how important is accessibility to you? I'm not going to judge you. You know, I just think it's just interesting to see. And what else would you like to see in this organization? I'm keen to see a logo or something. So yes, if anyone has any thoughts or ideas, suggestions, drop them in the chat as well. Okay, so what should we do first? So I think you mentioned in your list of items about settings. So do you want to start at the organization level at settings before we create any repos and before we, you know, do any of that stuff?
Yes.
See what we've got. Okay, perfect. So we need a picture. We can do that shortly. You got organization display name. I think that's the you can put spaces in that basically. So I don't know if you want to put accessible for all, and if you put it with spaces, then I think it displays instead of, a bit like with your name and your username on your GitHub profile as well. And then email you can leave. Description, I don't know if you want to write something in there for now. Again, you can update it later on if you want to come up with a sentence. We also
What
have
should be?
Carl here as well. Hi, Carl.
Hey, Carl. Making accessibility. I can't spell now. Accessibility.
It's fine. No one's watching. Someone can always raise an issue and say, fix this, so it's fine. They can get a green square for it.
Please do.
Looks good. And Tony's made a suggestion. They love the initiative. Maybe something like curated accessibility, best practices, repo across various technologies and stacks. So again, lots of ideas. I think that's great. I think, the curated list from people could be really, really good.
That would be fantastic.
Awesome. So you see, you're getting lots of awesome feedback. Thank you all for being here and supporting. I love you all. Carl, don't listen to Carl. Listen to Carl most of the time, just not this once. Smashing the keyboard. I'm not smashing my Apple keyboard. Okay, so Twitter user, again, if you want to put your Twitter in there, I would recommend it. You might not have one for the org, so I would say put your personal one in there, because you are posting and sharing about accessibility. So I would say, let people learn more about it from you, or it's another way for people to contact you as well if they want to. So I would highly recommend.
Does it need an app before it, or just username?
I think I put in. Oh, good question. What have I done? Shall I check EdiHub and see? I'm not actually sure. Let's check. I'm going to open EdiHub, and I just put in just the username without the @ Okay. And yes, GitHub has done the magic for that, so that's fine. So cool. Okay, so Jay is 80 out of 100, and that is the winning number at the moment because no one else has shared any numbers. So awesome. And then you can leave the other two empty for now. I would say hit update. Let's have a look how it looks. Sponsors, I would definitely say enable. Like if people want to send money to you, then let them. Definitely don't deny them. And if you go to the organization, let's how does it look? There you go. So brilliant. We've got description, we've got Twitter, and if you hover the Twitter, it should be a link. Perfect. Okay. So if we go back to settings again, I think there's a couple of things down the side we want to have a look at. So billing and plans we'll skip. Members privileges, just click on that and just check. I don't think there's anything in there. Base permission read. I remove repository creation on other people, because if you're getting loads of people joining your organization, I would untick private, because I left originally and untick both. So I did that and then didn't realize public got ticked, and then people started creating lots of repos all over the place. So I would just hit save on that now before we forget. I think each section has got a save. What else have we got? Allow forking of private repositories. You probably won't have any private ones, but I just leave it as it is. Members will be able to publish sites with only selected access controls. Members will be able to create public sites visible to everyone. I don't know what I have for that, because GitHub Action just takes care of all of that. It's not like a person that's doing that. But let me just check my settings and see. Yeah, that's on for mine. That's default. So yeah. Okay, admin repository. I guess you'll be the only admin anyway. So that will be fine. I've unticked those on mine, because I think maybe you're the owner and an admin is one below, so you might give someone admin, but you don't want them to make projects private or public, and also for deletion and transfer. I untick those. Yes, this is record. This will be on my YouTube channel. I think YouTube takes about 24 hours after the live stream to render it, and then it will be available like 24 hours afterwards. This is all about setting up a GitHub organization to a community organization. It's not a company, a community one, so people can contribute to it. So there will be some green squares probably shortly as well for people. Allow users to read access to create discussions. Yes, I'm pretty sure I've left that on. I want people to be able to start discussions even if they're not part of the organization. And I've unticked members to create teams.
Okay.
Today's task, I think. Jay, go do what you need to do. Don't worry. We'll still be here in a bit, and you can catch up later on. We'll probably do a part 2 in the future as well. And Carl has already noticed some bad UX. It jumps to the top of the page when you hit it. Yes, that's true. If only GitHub was open source itself, we could kind of say, you know, after the submission, go to the right part of that page. But you're hitting a button in that section, so it knows where you are. So you're absolutely right. Unfortunately, you can't log an issue on GitHub either, I don't think, for that. Teams and discussions. Let's just have a flick through and have a look. What have we got? I disabled that actually because it wasn't a bad thing, but I wanted everything discussed publicly. I didn't want. We did have some people who started creating discussions just for the team to see, and it was just somewhere else for me to look and go. And yeah, I didn't want that. Discuss everything publicly.
Yeah, sounds good.
I think that's just easy. I mean, you can always enable it later on if you need it, but I just don't think it's needed. Import export. I don't know if I've ever used that.
There are no mannequins in this organization. I have no idea what one of those is.
No, nor do I. Someone please find out. Let us know. I'd really appreciate it. Moderation. I think all those are fine. So yeah, just leave those as they are. I don't think I changed anything. Repositories. I think this is where you can set like the defaults when you're creating defaults for repositories. So main branch sounds good. Commit sign off. I wish everyone signed their commits, but most people don't, so I just left that as it is. Repository labels. This wasn't available when we did ours, so it's great that now you can create defaults for all your repos. But we have a GitHub action that creates labels for us, so that's fine. So I have no suggestions on this. Maybe you have some you want to add later, but
okay.
Yeah, I have no suggestions on that. What do we have next down the side?
Repository topics.
I left all that default. Again, that wasn't really available. I guess that's for discussions. Oh, topics is for the bit on the right-hand side. Okay. Actions. Are you going to have lots of not accessible actions, but actions that check accessibility? That could be a really good list.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, that could definitely be something that I add.
Can someone? Okay, we need to start raising some issues of these ideas we get as we go along. I would love to see a list of actions that focus on accessibility, because there's loads out there on GitHub Action Marketplace and all free to use. But with there being so many, I'd love to see kind of which ones you think that's a good one for Lighthouse, because there's probably like 10 for Lighthouse alone, and there must be another one for. I think there's some. I can't think of the tools, but some other tools that people use, but there are actions that are wrapped around them. So
there's like Axe dev tools and stuff that I found one just the other day that was like integrating it into GitHub, and I saved that for later, so I can check it out. Yeah,
you have to check them out and let us know what you think. That could be an interesting repo again, just food for thought. A repo where people can put accessibility actions, and you've purposely got some like failing stuff in there, and you can see how the actions come up with a report, and then it's just an example. Okay, we'll have to raise these somewhere shortly.
Someone start a discussion, because there's no repos to add to yet.
Yes, that's true. Can you start a discussion at the org level?
I don't know.
I don't think you can. I think we might need a repo for it. We'll have to create one in a moment. Okay, we'll do one shortly.
Yeah.
I keep all these the same, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't do anything specific for this. Yeah, keep it all. I require approval for first-time contributor. That's to stop the whole Bitcoin mining bot thing. So the first time someone creates a pull request, the GitHub action will pause, and you have to click approve. And then the second time, it will run by itself. So that's interesting. This one, fork pull request work in private repositories. No, I don't think that's needed. I think that's pretty all default. Again, a lot of these didn't exist when I was setting mine up. Allow GitHub actions to create and approve pull requests. No, I don't think that's needed either. I know some repos have it that if everything passes, it gets approved, but I don't like that. I'd rather it was approved by the community.
Yeah.
Seeing example how to set them up. I remember how painful it was to set up Lighthouse. We ended up ditching it because it was so complex. Did we ditch it? I thought we kept it. Was it ditched in the end?
I think the Lighthouse issue is still open.
Oh, my memory is so bad. Okay, so
we reminded you several times to go and have a look at it, but you haven't done it.
Sorry, everyone.
I'm calling you out on stream. I apologize.
That's fine. No, I want to be. Everything's transparent. So I want to be called out. Okay, so that's something we need to look into, because I think Lighthouse is quite useful to definitely have, at least to give us some idea. So yeah, okay. So there's still a lot of issues. If Carl couldn't fix it and you couldn't fix it, there's no chance of me fixing it. But
no,
maybe
it's that you need to give permissions in the EdiHub organization to the actual plugin thing.
Oh, okay. Well, we're either going to do this on this stream later on if we get time, or we're doing this tomorrow morning. Let's get that sorted. I'm so sorry, Carl, Emma. You have the. I'm telling you to DM me to remind me, and tomorrow morning I will do it on a Discord call or something, so we can get those sorted. I'm so sorry. Yes. But interesting that Carl says that they didn't use it. They used Netlify instead. Okay. I think that's good. What else? Runners, I skip over those. I just use all the default runners for actions. I don't do anything. Webhooks, you can ignore. Discussions, I'm guessing it's going to be like topics and stuff. Oh yeah, enable discussions for the organization. If you click that, hit save. Let's. It will go to a default repo. Okay, so maybe on your support repo, if you're going to have something like a support one or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so we will update this. Maybe I don't know if you want to open a new tab, and then we can create that support repo. People can start logging issues, and we can enable that as well. Because it'd be good to have it show at the. I need to do that for EdiHub as well. So how things have changed. Discussions, enable discussions for the organization. Here we go. And I'm going to support. Save. I'm guessing it appears at the top. Oh yes, so now I've got the tab at the top of the organization, but when you click on it, I think it shows stuff from the repo itself. Okay, so MIT, always a good choice. I don't know if you want to click add readme, it will just put the title, I think. Yeah. Git ignore, no. Public. I don't know if you want to put a description in, or again, you can write that later.
Yeah, I'll write that later. I'm not good at coming up with things.
One thing I would just say, just to make you aware, that you're probably aware already, but a discussion is that you've put support with a capital S. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think lowercase or uppercase, neither is better. But one thing that I did wrong with EdiHub is I've got different naming conventions, and that really bugs me every time I look at it. So just choose one now, and maybe, make sure you kind of, stick with it. Let's say you got resources, capital R. Obviously, the .github doesn't count because that's a special one. So yeah, capital S is consistent. So big thumbs up from me.
That's what we're choosing.
Let's do it. Let's create it. So now, people who need some green squares, write in the chat if you need some green squares. Just write green if you need something, and we'll come up with some suggestions for you. We were down to discussions. So enable discussions for this organization and pick your support repo. Perfect. And then packages you can ignore, I think, as well, because you haven't got any packages. Pages, you probably use pages, I'm guessing. I'm going to click on it and see what it says. Again, that for verifying domains. That's fine. Projects, project boards. I love project boards. Enable. Yes. Perfect. And security, who cares about security? Security is like accessibility. It should be a top priority, but it isn't. So maybe someone should create an organization on security and focus on that.
Definitely.
So have a click and see. Again, I can't remember what in these sections. Require two-factor authentication. Unfortunately, you can't tick that because you won't allow a lot of people to join the organization. As much as I would love to, like 2FA is so important. But yes, unfortunately, you have to leave that off as well. Okay, we've got green here as well from Kanheya. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Okay, we'll get you some. What was the issue we thought of? I've forgotten now already. If someone could raise an issue, do you want issues or discussions, Emma?
I don't know.
Okay,
I guess discussions about like possible new
ideas.
repositories and ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So someone could start a discussion on the logo. So therefore, you can all chat about ideas and maybe compare some other kind of accessibility icons and logos and see what they look like. No, Carl, no. Again, Carl is always right most of the time. So yes, can Heya, if you could create a discussion, it's at the top of the organization. Let me share the organization link again on maybe the logo. So what is the logo discussion really? And there was another one I've forgotten as well. Created the support repo. So
GitHub Actions and accessibility.
Oh yes. So create a discussion as well on GitHub Actions that are focused on accessibility. Like let's list some resources and potentially maybe a thread in that discussion. Someone else could do this. Is maybe a repo, an example repo of those actions running with some lower scores and so like a demo project. It might just be a HTML file, but again, it would just be an example of how the reports look like. People can kind of see it and so forth. It would be nice to address form validation practices. I've been seeing bad cases for like the last 15, 16 years. You'd think these would get better. I think it's improved a little bit, but in single digit percentage, let's say. So I think forms are used so much, yet they're probably done like differently and wrong every time. So that would be for the kind of the good practice example repo, this would be a great one. So maybe Tony, you could start a discussion on having like a good practice repo that has the stuff that we use all the time, buttons and form fields and so on. Again, it won't get submitted to go anywhere. The data's not being saved, but it'd be nice to know about it. And maybe there could be in the documentation of that, there could be, reasons why certain things are done and so on. I think that could be really nice to expand on that as time goes on. Obviously, it's not going to happen overnight. Okay. I think I left all these defaults. You don't have a domain yet. Are you planning to buy a domain as well?
No, not at the moment anyway.
Okay. So again, that's all fine. Secrets will be
maybe
for GitHub.
Depends how many sponsors we get.
Have you set up sponsors for yourself?
No, not at all.
Okay, so you set up sponsors.
The tax side of it scares me. I need to look more into that.
Got you. Yeah, in England, it's a bit easier. It's considered a donation, which then it goes into a certain bucket in my accountant's kind of things, and it just follows a simple tax rule. So it's quite simple, which is good. I think that's everything, right? I think that's everything. Anything else down the left-hand side? Third-party integrations, scheduled reminders. I don't know what scheduled reminders are. I'm really keen to know what that is. Oh, for Slack. Who uses Slack? No. Will you have a Discord community, do you think, around this?
I have an empty Discord community of the same name currently.
Awesome.
And
okay.
I'm hoping that I might get some help from Krish and Naomi to sort that one out.
Perfect. That sounds good. Awesome. I hope once we finish Edibot, the new version, maybe you'll use Edibot, inclusive words.
Yes, definitely interested in using Edibot.
You can be the first person who's using Edibot outside EdiHub. Hopefully it works. Also, I think that's good. Okay, so shall we go to your support repo where we're going to have various things running? So, okay, let me think. As you go back one, I just noticed something. If you go back a page, you've got popular repos, and I really hate it how it's showing 3. So can you pin maybe the 2 repos, resources and support, so therefore you don't have 3 showing? I can't remember. I can't even remember. Does anyone remember? How did I do that in mine? Let's just check.
You can pin repositories visible to anyone.
Aha, there you go. I think I might have removed those. I probably should pin some as well. Perfect. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go pin some now. Which one should we pin in it? Link free and support, maybe. I don't know. There's so many, but I only want to pin 2. Maybe we can write a GitHub action that maybe cycles them through or something. So perfect. Okay, brilliant. That's good. Let's go to. Actually, do you want to show us what you've got in your resources repo?
Yes.
Let's have a look at what you've got there. So again, people might have some ideas around that. Looks good. Okay, so you've got some links down there as well, which is good.
Yeah, it's basically just a list of links in split up into different categories.
Perfect.
It's like all of my bookmarks.
That's great. The only thing I might suggest, and I don't know if someone wants to green square and they can raise an issue for this on this repo, is suggest having the sections alphabetical, not like necessarily the ones although the ones inside do look alphabetical.
Yeah, these are alphabetical.
Okay. Awesome.
But yeah, I did actually think the other day that maybe all the headings should probably also be alphabetical. So yes, add a square.
Get a green square and make a pull request, and you could just copy and paste things and move them around yourself. Then you can get like 3 green squares. Perfect. Okay. That's good. Okay, so you got a couple of issues. And I don't know if you want to click on Insights. Sorry, I was just going to see if there's any more green squares for people on this repo before we move on, and go to Community down the left, the third one down, I think. Sorry, Community Standards. So you've got almost a full house, missing an issue template. Again, not the end of the world. Missing a pull request, not the end of the world. It's not too bad. So that looks good. Okay, so not really any green squares for anyone. Let's have a look at the support repo, which is brand new. So lots of green squares for people here as well. Let's have a look. See, 9 minutes ago, all new. Okay, so what shall we do first? So maybe Insights again.
Yeah.
And Community Standards, exactly. And people can raise some green squares for this. So if you could raise some issues, not discussions, issues this time, on the support repo needs a description, needs a code of conduct. So raise one issue for each of these items, maybe not the last one. I still don't know what that means. I know I looked at it on a live stream with Naomi and I've so forgotten. Maybe raise an issue for those, and then we can close them off once they're done. But let's add a code of conduct. I think that's an easy one to fix. Which one do you usually use? I usually use the first one. Yeah,
I think that's what I used on the other repo as well. Just add my email address for now.
And put your bank pin as well and your Bitcoin.
Exactly, yeah. When we're talking about security.
Anyone else watching? Have any of you created an organization? Do you look after an organization? I'd be interested to know. In a pull request as well. Very nice. I usually just go straight to main with these things.
Oh, I didn't realize that it wasn't. Okay,
that's fine.
Just done it automatically as a pull request.
You can merge it yourself. It's fine. You'll get the GitHub badge. I think it's YOLO, which means you've merged your own pull request.
I have got that one already.
Have you? Let's go get 2. I'm sure I've got like 100. GitHub just being nice to me. Check discussions according to Praduma. Okay. If you want to click delete that branch again, just to clear it up because it's been merged. Let's have a look at discussions in which ones? GitHub actions, which focus on accessibility. Awesome.
Definitely. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Praduma.
Doing this
okay, so the next thing we should do, I think, is actually, was there, if we go back to Insights, was there something else in Computer Standards? Was there one more? Contributing note that requires a bit more work. So that's fine. Perfect. If you go to settings on this repo, let's turn up. Sorry, go on.
I'm just thinking, if I create a contributing.md, then people can start adding things to it.
Yeah, just one line adds benefit, and you could even just say any questions, start a discussion. I mean, anything like that just adds benefit straight away. I think starting is really hard and people worry about creating files and so on. So yeah, if it's
now it's on commit directly to main.
So the next thing I would do is I'd go to the settings and turn off the wiki if you're not planning on using the wiki.
Yes.
Which is, there we go, turn that off. Issues is on, sponsorship is off at the moment because you haven't got it. Projects and discussions, perfect. I think that's all good. I think that's all good. I think that's fine. Is there a save at the bottom, or is that saved automatically? I can't remember.
I think it saves automatically.
Okay. It's a bit inconsistent going back to Carl's comment on UX. It's just like either have a button on all of them, or have a button at the end, have a button for the section, and don't have like 3 different ways to do this. I'll feed that back to GitHub. So GitHub, if you're watching, I love you still, really, but I'll feed that back to you. It proves that no project is perfect, and always making improvements.
True.
Do you actually make this a more resource-based org, or do you actually want to develop projects with the community? That's a question for Emma. I think. Go on, sorry, Emma. Carry on.
No, I've got very many ideas. Obviously the resources repo was just easy to create, but I've got like 4 or 5 different like repositories that I want to make. One, like what Eddie was saying earlier, with the like example components for React, like here's an accessible modal, here's an example of accessible forms, and that kind of thing is something that I'd really like to do. Ones where you can learn about HTML semantics. I'd love to create either I'm toying with a Discord bot or a Twitter bot that like tweets out accessibility tips and tricks. But yeah, I thought making a Discord bot would be fun. So I've got several ideas to like add not just resources but also like learning kind of repositories and that kind of thing as well.
I think a lot of them start off with resources and discussions, and then just kind of build up and grow from there. These things, take time. So see where it goes. Okay. I think also hide the things on the right-hand side that we're not using, like support. I don't think it's going to have packages or releases. So I suggest hiding those as well. Environments, probably not either, actually. You probably won't have a website for support. Obviously, a website for yours. So I think you can always bring it back later on. It's not gone forever. So anyone who's watching, don't worry. They can always come back later. What else?
With this one, I want people to be able to join the community organization, like how we have on EdiHub, that there's like an automatic action when people raise an issue.
Sure.
To join the. I don't know if that's something we can do now, or if there's something else you'd like to look at first.
No, let's do that, and we can test it with people. They can join your organization, test it. But I'm glad, we've got people from the EdiHub community here, Praduma, Carl, and so on, because I can't remember how we did it. I'm pretty sure most of it's copy and paste. So if you open up the EdiHub support repo, I think it's literally copy and paste in action, and copy and paste an issue template, and you might change some of the wording in the template, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same. So if you go to the .github folder, and let's go to the issue template first, and it should be one for the invite. Let's have a look. Invitation, yep. And if you maybe hit raw, oh no, we can see it on the top. So you got the name, you got the about, you got the labels. Invite me to the organization. I think the labels is the important part, because the GitHub action will pick up on that. So if you click on .github at the top, just go back to the GitHub folder.
This one?
Yeah. And then go to workflows. Let's have a look at the action that picks that up and see. Invitation, matching names. Yes. So this is going to trigger on issue label. So it's going to trigger on that. And then we call it automate invite, which is fine. And it's using the action invite on label. So perfect. Someone else wrote that. Given the organizations, you'll change that to yours. The label, you change that to yours, or maybe the same. Repo token. So I think this needs more permission than a GitHub action gets. So you will have to create the token off screen in your own personal account or under the organization, and then add a comment there below. And why is there an invite token as well as an environment variable? Scroll, is that the end of the file? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why does it need two? GitHub token and actually GitHub token is the default one. My mistake. Sorry. GitHub token is the default one that gets created. It can do a lot of things like reply to comments, all those sorts of things. Invite token is the one allowing someone to have access to the organization. Invite token is what you would need to create. You can call it something else if you want. I just call it the same name as what they used in the action to keep it consistent. So that you will have to do off screen. So what I suggest is I can get some green squares for people, and we can copy and paste the this file and the issue template with some changes. And I don't know if you want to stop sharing, and I will share, and then you can create that token off screen if you want.
Yeah.
So if you create that token, let me. I don't know if I can see. Let me see if I can see where the token is and what permissions I gave it. Bear with me 1 second. Let's have a look. I think I did it under my personal account. Anyone correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you can do it under the organization level. I don't think so. So if I go to my GitHub, I can try and find out. There is it won't be an invite to organization. That's the thing. It will be something similar. Does anyone know? I should have checked beforehand because you did prepare me for this, and I was like, yeah, it's copy and paste, it's fine. Not thinking about those sorts of things. So it's not going to be under SSH keys. It's not going to be under that. It's going to be under personal. Is it personal tokens somewhere? Let me see. This is where I want someone written in the chat where it is. No. Okay. Everyone's fallen asleep. Us under the developer settings. Yes, personal access tokens under developer settings.
Okay, on my private account, not my.
Yeah, not on the organization, on your account. So you could actually share that. Just don't do the creation of it, if that makes sense. So we can have a look at the permissions that are available, and then when you go to create it, move it off screen, if that makes sense.
Okay, hang on. I've got two screens open, so.
Okay, perfect. So you're here. So I don't know if you want to go back one and show people how you got to here, and then just the last step we will.
I clicked on my profile at the top, clicked on settings, scroll right down to the bottom to developer settings, and now I'm here.
Okay, and then the last one on the left will be personal. This has changed so much since I last did it. It never used to be like this. So you've got one token already. So let's just hit generate new token. Password 123.
Yeah.
It should be asterisks. You shouldn't see it. Again,
I'm just trying to remember what it is.
Okay, so I just want to see these permissions. So we're not going to. You can always refresh if the token is shown. You can refresh the page, but it won't be shown until you hit submit anyway.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. So you've got admin, and I want to, while you've got that, see if anything stands out. I want to check mine, and again, you can never get the token again later on, but I can get what I used. So I have to remember my password now as well. So I can get what I use. So what I have ticked is I have admin, read and write, and that's the only thing I have. So admin org. Yeah, I have the top one ticked, which tick both of them, I think. Yeah, so that's what I've done. I would suggest giving it the same name as what's used in the GitHub action. And then, like I said, hit submit on a different screen. Then it will go to the list, I think, if I remember correctly, and show you your token. And expiration, I put never expires, which is not best practices, but I didn't want the stress of going, this is not working, to go fix it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's all I did for that one.
Okay.
But don't hit generate on the screen.
No.
Yet.
I'll move.
Okay.
Move
So while you're doing that, I'm gonna share my screen, and let's go have a look at creating the action and issue. So write green if you need some open source green squares in the chat as well. So let me just share my screen. Here we go. So hopefully you all see accessible for all. And then we have got the support repo. And what we also need to do is grab some stuff from the GitHub support repo as well. I could do this, but I want all of you to do this. I think it'll be better. So let me open these up and I can share the links in the chat. So who wants to do these? Let us know. We've got quite a few green squares. So we need an issue to say, let me share the repo again as well. So, oops, what did I do? Just let me, oh, you can't see my screen. Sorry, my bad. Didn't add it to the stream. Sorry, thank you. Thank you so much, VJ. Really appreciate it. So I've got my screen shared now. I think that's my screen. And this is the repo. So I'm just going to, I just shared in the chat the link to this repo. If someone could create an issue to say we need an issue template and a GitHub action to invite people to the organization. And if anyone wants to actually make those changes, what you need is to go to here. And I'll share the link in a moment. You need to copy and paste. I think, can you copy and paste it? Any particular changes? Invitation to the GitHub organization, description, or be part of this awesome community. It all looks good. I think, where did you meet Eddie? You might want to remove this question. You might want to change it to Emma, or you might just want to remove the question. This was just, I thought it was funny to see it. That's all. Actually, probably someone else thought it was funny, and I'm not creative enough to think of these things. So copy and paste majority of that. Again, Emma can tweak it later on. So I'm going to paste a link in the chat. So this is the issue template that you need. You would put it in the same location, the same name, everything. So that's pretty good. If no one wants to do it, there's something we can do on the live stream if you all want to watch. And I'm going to open another window now. We're going to workflows and go into invitations. And I think, because now Emma has created the secret, you could literally copy and paste all of this. You will want to change the organization name, and you will want to maybe change. No, that's it. You probably could keep that. It doesn't say Eddie Hub in there. Just double check it. Oh, it does. So you do want to change that. And that's it. So it's pretty much copy and paste for both of those. So let's see. Have we got any issues raised yet? Maybe no one wants any green squares. We can do it. No one's written in the chat. So Emma, maybe you just go ahead and do it then. If no one wants it, we'll let them raise the issues. Maybe you create the files to save a bit of time. So I would suggest doing the GitHub action first, because if you do the issue and someone creates an issue, the action won't run because there's no action there. So if you create the action, but no issue is created, that's fine. The action is still there, and not running is also fine. So I would say, oh, let me put your screen up, not mine. Oh, VJ has done something. Issue raised. Perfect. You got a green square. Thank you very much. Awesome. And we're going to get you all to raise some more issues in a moment to check that this GitHub action works as well. To-do list. Okay. So, and you got a link in the description as well. Awesome. Only suggestion for the future, I wouldn't say to-do list. I would say the to-do list is in the description. So it's great that you've done that with a link as well. Awesome. But I would say maybe have a title descriptive. Emma, I don't know if you want to update that for make it easier for anyone else looking at the repo later to automate invitations or something like that. But you still get the green square, so don't worry. Emma's just doing an update. You still get the green square on your profile. So Emma, do you want to do the GitHub action first?
Yes.
Let's do it. I'm super excited. I hope this works.
Me too. So do I just add file from here?
Yep, that's correct. Add file. And then you can put the path in. So the path will be .github, if I remember correctly. Let me check. I'll give you bad advice. It will be .github /workflows with an S /invitation.yaml. Invitation.yaml, you can name something else if you wanted to.
No, that works fine.
Okay. And then do you want to, if you've got mine open somewhere?
Yep.
You could click at do you know there's a copy, top right, there's a copy icon, which is very new. So I'm super excited that's there.
I did not know about that. Yeah. That one.
I think, yeah, it's quite recent. I think, yeah, it's quite recent. So it's very, very cool. And then paste and it should work. Perfect.
Okay.
Don't forget the extra blank line at the end to make Linux happy as well, and GitHub.
Okay.
It will need no spaces on it, so you delete back to the 18 if that makes sense, because it won't be considered a blank line. If you do it in your IDE, it automatically usually removes the empty white spaces.
Go too far every time. I can't tell.
It's very hard.
Right. Oh,
You're on Windows or Mac? I do Shift Command Left to go right to the beginning and just hit delete. I'm sure there's an equivalent. Like you can use Home maybe, and I don't know, something like that. Okay, so Praduma says take the green squares, otherwise I will. Praduma, get some green squares.
Go for it, Praduma.
Okay. Yeah, so make the changes that you want, and again read the comment to see you might want to make some tweaks. If it's too much to do now, maybe delete a majority of it, and then you can always add to it later, I suppose. I would probably say just delete, maybe have the first line. Yeah.
Maybe not all of that. It's a long line.
It's a really long line. And then if that looks okay,
hang on.
You might need a quote as well.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Or just remove the B's. Yeah, exactly.
And then I need a quote. Thing.
Perfect. I think that's good. What do you all think? Does it look good?
Shall I save it?
Let's do it. Drum roll. Another drum roll yet. We need people to do the issue template, then for everyone to start creating issues and see if it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's go on my tabs. On the first tab, if you go to the issue template, and we'll just do something very, very similar. Okay, we got some look good to me. Brilliant. Thank you, Praduma. Thank you, VJ. Looks like you're both still awake, so that's good. Awesome. Okay, so again, I would just use that copy icon. Let's just copy that and see. By the way, we should get Emma to review some of my projects on a live stream in terms of point of view of accessibility. So the tables can be turned.
Yeah.
And then if you hit on the GitHub, and then they give you the path as well, it will be issue_template, all in capitals.
Okay.
Issue singular. Yep. I was just double checking that. Invitation.yaml, perfect. And then paste and make the changes accordingly. Again, I'd probably, I'll let you have a look through, and I'll look at some of the chat.
Yeah.
So VJ says we can refer to issues in comments. So for example, if the comment message had create invitation YAML ref 4, the issue would also get a reference. That is true. Yes, in the timeline, even in a pull request, if you refer to an issue or on a pull request, same with issues as well, referring to pull requests, in the timeline you do get links, and it's great. I think it's important for people to refer to things because then you get the linking between them. Okay. You're doing this on the GitHub UI, sounds a bit tricky because the IDE does make it a lot easier with all the indentation and stuff.
Oh, the indentation in YAML files is just...
Yes. And looking good. Drum roll will be soon. There will be a drum roll. So I think, do I have a sound effect for drum rolls? Let me just check while you're doing that.
Just remove that one.
By the way, everyone watching, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and subscribe to Emma's YouTube channel. Let me drop that in the chat as well. But Emma's links are in the description below as well. So you've got Emma's Twitter, YouTube, and the GitHub org is there as well. So
okay, I don't think I've missed anything. Okay.
Try it. Let's give it a go. Okay, so now we need to test it. So shall I share my screen and I will test it. You will have to approve. So before you approve it, I will switch back to your screen. So let me go to my screen. So now we're going to go to Emma's repo. We want some of you to do this as well in the moment. I'm going to create an issue. I'm going to go new. I want to say get started, invitation. It all looks good. Let's check it. You can all see my screen, right? I have brought it up on screen. Get started. Please invite me to the organization. Insert your name, Eddie, Discord. I'll leave that blank. Submit. So I've created that. Oh, it hasn't got a label. Because the label doesn't exist. Okay, so I'm going to close this issue. Label does not exist. So I'm going to close that issue. So if I switch back to Emma's screen, and Emma, if you could go to issues, yep, and then labels, right a little bit. Up one above. It's a bit hidden. Yeah, it is. And then hit new, and you need to give it the exact same name that we gave it in the issue template, which I can read out to you, which is invite me to the organization, spelled the British way with an S, not a Z.
Okay, is it capital I or not?
Sorry, all lowercase.
Okay, invite.
Praduma says you forgot to add the last line. Praduma, I think there's a PR for you there.
Thanks. Organization, like that.
Invite me to the organization. Yeah. Praduma, another PR for you as well. Yeah, maybe remove the Discord thing for now as well in the form field. So yeah, raise an issue, raise a PR. Sounds good. Sorry, it's not my repo. I'm saying go for it. Worst case, Emma closes it. You still get the green squares. Okay, so now that's been created. Let's switch back to my screen. And I'll go back to here. Let me try again. So if I go to new issues and go get, my name today is Eddie. Oh, I spelled my name wrong. It's not a good start. And then hit submit. Okay, so that has got the label, which is good. So we know the template is working, and the action is pending. So Emma, I think, will need to approve it. So if I switch back to Emma's screen, I've never approved one that's not a pull request. This is going to be quite interesting. If you click on actions, I'm guessing there's going to be something in there. Oh, it failed. Oh, it ran. Interesting enough, it ran.
Is that the previous one?
Oh, yeah, that would have been the previous one. So, oh no, the previous one wouldn't have run because you wouldn't have had the label. So let's have a look. Click on one, maybe the latest one. Oh, it doesn't really matter. They'll be the same. And then if you click on the app, let's find out what the error is. ENV required and not supplied. My bad. You need to add it to your organization. So I completely forgot to say that. It's been so long since I did it, but I have a question, and I'm assuming the answer to this is no. Did you keep the token somewhere?
Yes.
Oh, you did? Oh my God, how organized are you? That's amazing. For anyone, if you don't keep the token, don't worry, you can regenerate it. And if you haven't used it anywhere, it doesn't matter if you're regenerating a new one. It's only a pain if you've used it in a few places. So, Emma, I will show you how to do this, and then, but when you put it in, take it off screen again.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
If you go to accessible for all, so the organization level, and then we go to settings again. Thank you very much. VJ's on the case. Perfect. Is it populated in GitHub secrets? No, it's not. Thank you so much. And then if you go to secrets, should be down the left, I think. Secrets, actions, and then new organization secret. And then the name at the top will be the one that we want to use in the GitHub action, which I think was invite_token, according to VJ's comment. And then don't paste in the value, but there's a drop down at the bottom. I was just going to just show the options. Sorry. If you click on it, so it's public repositories, private, and selected. I do public, like for everything, because it's private anyway. So you don't want it for private, and you don't want it for selected. Oh, you could do it for selected. You could do it just for the support repo. Maybe try that. So if you click on the drop down, and you go selected repos, and how do you select it? There we go, support. Perfect. And so it'll only work for that. And then yes, take it off screen to do the value and hit save. Perfect. So we're going to switch back to my screen in a moment. Actually, let's switch back right now. And then when Emma gives me the go ahead, hopefully it should work. So thank you all for your help in this.
Okay.
So, you've got quite a few invites. People have been excited. That's
Awesome.
great, but
none of them will work.
none of them will work because the action will fail. So, but it's okay. You get more green squares. You just have to close those and create some new ones. But before you do, let me just test it myself and see if it works. When Emma gives me the go ahead.
Okay, I have done it.
You've done it? Okay. Let's do it again. Hopefully you can all see my screen. My name today is Eddie. Let's hit the new one. And if we go to the GitHub Actions, I'm going to open Actions in a new tab because that should close my issue when it's finished. Okay. Vedant ran theirs and it ran. They just got theirs in and it just beat me. Okay. So if we go to the members list, no one has... I have an invitation. Okay, brilliant. So it has worked. If I look at my invitation, I would like to join it. And there I see me and Emma. Perfect. Okay, and if I go to Teams, I can make it, not Teams, people, sorry. I can make mine public because at the moment mine is private and Emma's is private too. So I'm not going to make mine public until Emma makes hers public.
Where did I go? People.
It's people. And then you can only change yours, basically. But it worked. So awesome. Let's switch back to Emma's screen as well. Okay. Someone beat me to it, so it's working. So it's great. Tamal, awesome to have you here. I hope your day is going well. Always great to see you welcoming everyone in the Eddie Hub community on Discord. I love that. You can run those without creating it. Oh yes, you could rerun them. That's very, very true. Thank you. See, I knew that, but I forgot. There's just just a mess in my head. So thank you so much. I think that's so important to remember. You don't have to do that. So I think only Emma can do that. If you go to Actions and then any failed ones, if you, I don't know, what do the 3 dots say on the side? Actually, I wonder if you could do it from there. I'm not sure. It's there at the top right, but I wonder if the 3 dots gives it to you. No. Okay. So if you click on it and go into it, and then at the top right, there is rerun action. Thank you, Paduma. That's awesome. Be both the same in this case. So yeah. If you had a chain of them, you wouldn't have to run the whole thing. You could just run the steps that the latest step that failed, basically. So yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. See, we're all learning together. Love it. And we've been going for an hour already. Wow. Okay, how time flies when you're having fun. And if you're having fun, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Emma's YouTube channel, link in the description below, and also follow Emma on Twitter as well. Okay, so these will all eventually go green, and then we've got that working. So we will have people be able to invite themselves to the org. Perfect. So what shall we do next? What else would you like, Emma?
The other thing in this repository is I want people to be able to add an issue to get their reviews. And that's also like I guess an action that adds a label.
We should be able to do that just with the issue template. So with the issue template, we can add the label that you want. So before we forget, we will create the label. But I'll let you finish. Have they all gone green? Everyone's good.
Apart from this was your first one, so yeah.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good. Yeah, so Paduma, you might have learned that from me. I don't know if you did or didn't, but then I'm learning it back from you because I forget. So I love it how we're kind of sharing all this knowledge all the time. So thank you so much. Yeah, if we go back to issues and then labels and create the label that you want. Are you going to have like a label for review my, I don't know, website and then review my something else, or do you want one that's like a global catch-all?
No, I think just a global one for now will be fine. Okay,
so let's create a new label. What would you like to call it? Review my website, or just review my ? Oh, that'd be quite good. I don't know. No, but then it could be anything. Someone might put their like Twitter account on there or something. So you probably want to be a little, you have got a description, but I don't know if people would read that description. That's more on the labels page. So maybe I don't know. What do people think?
Yeah, well, it's basically websites that
Okay.
I'm.
So review my website, because that will
That
include
way.
portfolio, web app or whatever
Yeah, yeah.
they want. I would. They're all lowercase at the moment, so I don't know if you want to do it lowercase as well. Just a suggestion. Okay, great. So now if we go to, I mean, you could use the existing template that you've got and just make changes to it, or you could steal the one from, I say steal, it's open source, or use the one from EdiHub that we've got a review one. Entirely up to you. So, I mean, you can use the one that we've already created because that's adding a label that's got a form field, and then you could, just kind of copy that one and create a new one, and we can tweak it accordingly.
Okay. It's in the GitHub.
GitHub issue template. Yeah. I always forget. It's easier when you're not driving. When you're watching, it's so much easier. Usually it's me driving and I'm like, oh, where is it over here? So it's great to be on the other side. So it's got one file in there. So if you click on the file, on that file, and then what I'll do is I'll just hit the copy button at the top right of the and then I'd go back to issue template and then create add file. And then, I don't know, maybe call it like, I don't know, review.yaml. And then, I'd paste and just start from there. So we can change the label first. Oh, no, you start at the top. You're right. Don't listen to me. Do your thing. Do your thing. Don't listen to me.
Yeah. Oh.
While you're thinking, I'll address the chat. Franklin suggests adding the Oktoberfest label. No. I mean, you can do it with the Oktoberfest label via the topic on the repo, or you can do it when you accept someone's pull request. You can say, I think it's Oktoberfest accepted. They might change the label names this year, so I wouldn't worry about creating them probably until September. Until they confirm how they're doing it as well, and Emma might not want people to participate in this particular repo, maybe in the other repos that it's about resources and so forth. So, but thank you so much for the suggestion, Franklin. Maybe raise an issue or start a discussion. Maybe start a discussion on that. So it's something that people can share their thoughts when more information comes out on it. So it's going to be an input. So probably want a URL or maybe a project name or maybe just a URL for this one.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is if they link to the actual website, and also link to the GitHub repository, so that I can go directly to the website, but then I can go to the GitHub repo and add all the issues and things I find.
Sounds good. So do you want to say in the description that it needs to be open source? If you want to, or I suppose if there's a field, actually it might not be needed, because I obviously add it if you want, but if you're putting a form field that is required that needs the GitHub repo, then I think that kind of highlights that issue.
Because
sorry, go on. No, carry on.
I was going to say I don't want to just review random companies and stuff. I want to be doing this to help. And
it will happen. The amount of companies that come to me and say, hey, we've got an open source project. Can you review it on a live stream? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Here's my fee. But you do everyone else's. They're community members. You're a company with 500 employees. You're going to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. Companies that have got the budget to pay for their own accessibility checks should be doing so.
Exactly.
Okay. Tell me if I'm doing something wrong.
I haven't done this in so long. The community do it most of the time. So everyone, let us know if I'll keep an eye on the chat. Let us know if anything doesn't look right.
And then this one is. Oh, does the ID maybe need to be all one word?
Possibly. Awesome, Carl. What did you write it in, and for which project? Did you use Cypress, Cucumber, and what did you use it for? And what project, I mean?
It's that question if GitHub has a
It's a capital H.
capital
I got it wrong
H.
for so long, and then GitHub people would always tell me, so I don't make that mistake anymore. And you probably want that one required as well.
I make the same mistake with EdiHub as well.
And you probably don't need the last markdown part, I'm guessing. Carl, how did you find Playwright? The reason why I ask is I do have Debbie O'Brien, who's on the Playwright team, joining me on a live stream in, I think, 3 weeks. I actually need to create that live stream. I'll do that tomorrow so I can get it up and ready and people can hit the set reminder stuff. But yeah, Debbie's going to talk us through how to use it. I'd love to see how it compares to Cypress. I think that looks good. What does everyone else think? Let's give it a try and people can start raising some issues. Let's have a look. Hey Rohan, how you doing? Okay, so let's share my screen and then I can add link free to that. So if I go to the support repo, and you all can add your websites to this as well. So let's have a look. Oh, this one, it must be an old one. Okay, I'm going to close that. I got, this is old. Oh, yeah, I don't know why. No idea. Problem solved. Okay. Actually, now this can be closed as well. I can't close it, but this is now done. I think we can close it. So I can't close it, but I'm putting a comment in. And one reason why I'm showing this is because I want to show people that you can add value without creating an issue, without changing code. And when companies are hiring, they look for your profile. They do want to see this as well. I know I want to see this. I want to see people saying this is a duplicate of this and so forth. And don't just write, this can be closed now. In fact, I should have made this better and put a link to the actual GitHub action in the code base or the pull request. If there was a pull request, as much value as you can add makes it look a lot better. So I think that's really important. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was creating a new issue. And I was saying accessibility review, get started. Okay, and the website is going to be linkfree.edihub.io. Perfect. Then the GitHub repo is going to be GitHub edihub. Okay, let's create it. Perfect. That looked like it worked. It's got the label. It's got the 2 links. So yeah, that's perfect. That's good. You could always give them a free text area underneath if you wanted to add any more. Let them add any more information, but they can always add it in a comment. But it's just an extra notification for you. So that's something you can do, or someone can share as
add a green square. Add an issue.
Add an issue. Exactly. That was a test. I hadn't forgotten about that.
And we've got our first pull request as well.
Yes, let's have a look at it.
Yes. It is from Pradumna. Thank you.
Awesome. Fix the Discord part. Let's have a look. Oh, right, because there's no Discord. Yeah, makes sense.
It is Discord, but it doesn't have any channels or anything. So yeah, there's no Discord. Looks good to me.
Cool. Interesting. Carl says that Playwright comes out of the box with Svelte. Interesting. Okay, that's good to know.
Should maybe just mention, because we had a question about this in EdiHub earlier on, about reviewing changes if you are not a maintainer, because it's a bit hidden. Like someone added a comment here or in the pull request and said, why have I not appeared as a reviewer? And it's because you have to go to the files changed and then the review changes button and leave your comment here instead.
Then check the approve if you are approving it. And you don't have to be a maintainer or even be part of the organization to do it. And it will appear on your profile, and it does look really good and impressive that you are reviewing it. But make sure you are reviewing it and you're not just ticking that box just to get that green square, because you'll get banned from the organization. Unfortunately, I think we banned 1 or 2 people because I was getting 100 notifications an hour of them just approving every pull request. And then as a maintainer, when you're looking through the list of pull requests, everything looks reviewed, and then you might not go look at it. So it creates noise and more problems for the community. So do review stuff, but make sure you're adding value, then you have actually reviewed it. And you've also got Rohan saying hi as well. Rohan, you have to join us more in Discord as well. Rohan used to be super active, but due to exams hasn't been active. And we've got Ali as well. Awesome. I love it that everyone's saying hi in the chat to each other.
Hi, everybody.
I've added a tag to the commit in the issue. Is that okay? What issue number is that? Let us know and we can have a look. I'm sure it's fine. Okay, let's merge it. Let's do it. Green squares for everybody.
Let's put this as the title.
It's because it's doing it not as a squash. It's doing it as a merge commit. So that will go into the commit that it's taking it, but it also goes as a merge commit. So what I'd suggest is I wouldn't put that as a title, because that's your merge commit. So I would probably, you could squash it if you want. If you hit cancel, does it give you an option? In the drop down, you could say squash and merge, and then you want to make sure you have the right title, because only 1 commit will go in rather than 2 commits. You should both still get the green square for it. It's not like you lose out on green squares. If a pull request has 10 commits in it, that's what you'll lose out. You'll lose that commit history and also the green squares on those, but not from the author or the maintainer. You'll both at least get 1 for it. So yeah, but squashing is quite nice. So then it's just the same as usual, and it should put it in the title. I think fix should be lowercase is the only thing I would say, just to be consistent if you're using conventional. I think it's lowercase. And that's it. Yeah, that's good. And then if we could look at Prudima says squash it, awesome. VJ says number 4. So could we look at issue 4?
Issue 4 is closed, maybe.
What was the question? I've added a tag to it. Oh, okay. So they updated it, and it goes to the commit. Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, that adds a lot of value. So I love that. That's great. I think, adding the tag is good because you know exactly what the commit is. So perfect. Thank you so much. Love that. Franklin says there's a new feature, the greetings template that greets people for contributing when they submit a new issue or pull request. Yeah, we have that in EddieHub. That is something we can do. But we've been going for almost an hour and a half. So
wow.
Yeah, time goes fast when you're having fun. So it's probably a good place to stop.
True.
And then you can still all contribute to this. You know, we're not, when this stream ends, we're not taking down the organization. It will still be there on GitHub. So you can add an action for that. So Franklin, so much for reminding us. If someone could raise an issue on that so we don't forget, that to have maybe an invitation, and then Emma can decide if she wants that. And if she wants that, then, you know, someone can raise a pull request as well.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
I love that. Okay, awesome. I see you got issues and PRs coming in as well. So you've got PR from VJ. Praduma did a mistake. Don't worry, it's GitHub. You can't make a mistake. Or you can, but we can fix it, or someone else can fix it and so forth. So that's fine. But great to see lots of things coming in. Big shout out to Emma. Don't forget Emma's links are in the description below, so go check those out. This live stream will be available on my channel going forward. I think YouTube will only show it in about 24 hours time once it's rendered. Emma, thank you so much for sharing your organization and starting this exciting journey on my live stream with me. I mean, I had so much fun. I hope you had a good time too.
Yeah, well, thank you for all the input and all the people in the chat that were helping out as well. It's brilliant, and I don't think I've got this far by myself. So thank you very much. Thank you. I had so much fun. Everyone, have a great weekend. And don't forget to rest. Don't forget to get a green square as well at the same time. You can do it while you're resting. Just be watching TV on your lap. I'm joking.
get some good separation. And I have got a live stream on, no, actually, a Twitter space on Sunday. Join us talking about building inclusive tech communities. So I look forward to seeing you all there. People saying thank you. Awesome to have you all here. Love this. Thank you, everyone. Okay, Emma, stay on for a couple of minutes. I'll bring up the holding page and I can thank you personally. Everyone have a great weekend, and we'll chat to you in Discord. You guessed it, link in description below.